Preparing for court. On the 4th of August I started my new job at the chemist, which is the best job I've ever had. It's fair, and they have a roster to share jobs around equally. I hope I can keep this job, because the second week working there, 15th and 16th, I called in sick with a stomach bug. I hope they still want me to work there. I got paid from my job at the chemist last week, because I started working on the pay week of a fortnightly paid roster, and I received pay from cleaning I did at the schools, so now I can breathe again, for a little while, and not have to worry about money. On the 9th of August, I got my tax back finally. I didn't tell Jack, because I feel like I should keep it to myself. Brittany came back from Melbourne last night on the 8th. I was so happy to see her again. We caught up with each other, and had so much gossip to talk about. Also, on the 9th Brittany was mad because I didn't want to take a pee test for her, so she can go on ADHD medication. She wants the strongest ADHD medication available, which is a very expensive doctor appointment. She needed me to pee because she likes to do things recreationally, and it would be in her system if she peed in the test. Brittany doesn't want to give up recreational activities for 3 months. I realized after talking to Brittany about Jack's behavior that Jack is asexual, which explains a lot. It explains why he doesn't compliment me, look at me when I'm half naked or anything, and why he doesn't want sex. I don't like Jack anymore romantically. All my romantic feelings are gone, and I see him as a friend. I asked Jack to clear out his ex's boxes from the spare room again, and he keeps saying he will. He turned the camera on in the lounge room. Now I feel watched. It makes me feel uncomfortable and oppressed. On the 10th, I started moving some of his ex's boxes out to the backyard on the crates under an undercover area. He stopped me from continuing because of his excuses. For example, he needs to buy tarps. We live right near the shops. He needs to message the ex's dad to get the boxes. He still hasn't messaged him and never will. Then he said not to move the boxes, because then he can't charge his ex for having the boxes in storage here. So, I have no choice but to put up with his mind games and sleep in his room. The original deal of me moving here is that he would clean out a room for me, and I would pay him rent to stay there. On Wednesday the 13th, I drove Brittany to Albany to the WA Transport for her to get her license back. She got her license back and is not mad at me anymore for not doing the pee test for her. She is happy that she can drive again, and she can come see her cats whenever she wants. Also, now she can plan an escape to leave the pub and get away from Carrie. On the 12th to the 13th of August, I suspected Carrie made a fake Facebook account of an old colleague from the cafe. She tried to add me as a friend to spy on me with the fake account. Also on the 13th, the FWO rang me and told me to send the spreadsheet to Carrie. I did that and she saw it, and sent me over 20 emails saying it's wrong, etc. I printed out all the emails of her being difficult and abusive, calling me a narcissist, so I can take to court as evidence of refusing to pay back pay and being difficult. On the 14th of August, the sexual abuse investigator rang me and told me that the WA police have handed over the investigation to the Victoria Police. The Vic Police have let me down in the past, so now I think the case will probably be closed. I'm sorry, little sister. I tried to get justice for us. I did everything in my power to get justice for my little sister. I contacted legal aid on the 15th of August hoping someone can help me with the situation, with Carrie not paying me my back pay. They told me only a company called Circle Green Community Legal can help me, and they are in Perth though. I need legal aid to help me in court, because I feel scared to do everything alone. A few days ago, I sent $500 to Jack for helping with the spreadsheet, and I'll pay him another $500 when Carrie back pays me. He didn't even acknowledge it, or was even grateful. I sent him $100 towards bills as well. Now that I have a job, I will be able to contribute towards bills every week. He wasn't even thankful. I want my own room so I can pay rent, so he will stop playing mind games. He is ungrateful and emotionally abusive and cold just like my ex was. They are both air signs too, so I don't want to ever date an air sign guy ever again. Yesterday in the emails to Carrie, I offered for her to pay me $8,800 to settle this backpay case outside of court. She is being difficult and refusing to pay, so I am going to fill out the court papers soon. I will wait for Brittany to help me though, because it looks hard. Today is the 20th of August, and this morning the investigator, let's call him Phil, from the Fair Work Ombudsman rang me just before 8 a.m., telling me that Carrie would not reach a resolution and pay my back pay. So, he is closing the case and there's nothing he can do now. He told me he would email me a document of proof that there was no resolution between Carrie and I, but I never received the document. He added no value, and I feel let down by the FWO. I don't see the point of them when they have no power. It felt like he was taking Carrie's side with everything too. So, recently I got back into contact with Guy, I talked about in an old chapter from last year, who was labeled the town loser. I don't see him as a loser anymore, and I feel like I judged him wrong by what other people think. This guy, I'll call him Barry, is very romantic and reciprocates love and affection. He is friends with Jack too. Brittany doesn't like Barry and believes she saved me from ending up with a loser by separating us from being together. Today, the 20th of August, I went and visited him. It got very passionate very quickly. Before I left, I just told Jack that I'll be back later. He didn't care, which made it easier for me to go. Jack and I are just friends now. Barry had gotten off his antidepressants and ADHD medication, and this time, when we had sex, it was very different. It was actually the best sex I've ever had. It's the first time a man has made me orgasm while having sex. I feel like I'm on a high still. I really like him. I hope he doesn't become toxic. I still am looking for a rental, which if I get one, I'll live by myself for a while just so I don't get used, and to also heal my mind from living at the pub then living with Jack, who had played with my mind and made me lose my confidence. If Barry tries to force himself to try and live with me, then I will know he's controlling me. I'm so glad Barry got the day off on my day off. Jack also had the day off, because he got sent home from work sick with a bad cough, which he's had for over a week now. It's such a damn shame Jack and I didn't end up together, but I would have been miserable with a guy that doesn't show love, affection, or even like to have sex. It would have been a painful road to go down. Barry is better for me, even though the town would say he's a loser and no good. Brittany thinks Jack is an upgrade from Barry, but I disagree, and I even told her that in the past. Also, today the 20th of August, I went to have lunch with Brittany at our secret spot. She helped me fill out forms to send to the Industrial Court of Western Australia in Perth. I went to the post office and sent the forms. Yesterday, on the 19th of August, Carrie sent me a fake invoice claiming that I owe her over $6,800, plus tax, for apparently renting a second room at the pub, plumbing repairs, and cleaning. Jack and Brittany both told me to ignore the email. Carrie is only giving me 7 days to pay it. It's been a while since writing in this book. It is the 5th of October now. I have fallen in love with Barry since last writing in here. I am pretty sure I always loved him though. Recently Barry has been taking me to Albany to nice restaurants and treating me like a lady. I feel like I can talk to him and open my heart back up to love. My heart was in a cage from previous experiences, so I wouldn't get hurt again. It feels a little bit vulnerable for me, being myself with a guy for once. Men usually try to change me, control me and manipulate me. They try to reject my love too. Barry lets me love him, and he loves me back. He doesn't push me away like the rest do. He is different. He even holds my hand in public and shows affection. I finally told Brittany about Barry, and how I am dating him. She told me it's your funeral, and was not happy for me at all. She should be happy for me because that's what friends are meant to do. They are meant to support each other and be there for each other. She doesn't like affectionate men, that's why she turned him down in the past. She probably secretly regrets it because she sees how happy I am with him, and how supportive he is to me. I told my new manager that I will be taking my old boss to court soon. I went to the police station to see if anyone could help me serve my old boss the affidavit court papers. Police couldn't help me, they said they don't have that power anymore. The police gave me numbers to services who can serve my boss the papers. The services couldn't help. None rang back. One told me it's too far to drive to help me. And half of the companies are no longer operating. I felt let down and went to the post office, talked to the lady that does justice of the peace. She said I'll have to serve my boss myself. So, I decided to just do it. Carrie coincidentally saw my car in front of the police station the day I went there and jumped to conclusions and assumed it was about her. I went to the police to get someone to witness me serving her. She thought it was some other reason. I feel bad for sexually abused people that have to serve their abuser with no help from cops or any resources to do it for them. No wonder abusers get away with so much because victims are scared and back out from serving the abuser. As I was walking into the pub to serve my previous boss Carrie the affidavit court papers, my heart was pounding and my stomach too. I've never felt that stressed before. I was sweating and almost passed out before walking in. I served Carrie her paperwork in the kitchen. She came out of the walk-in fridge and saw me standing there with my paperwork. I put the paperwork down and said, "You have been served." At first, she laughed at me and said, "Good luck with that." Then as I was walking away to exit the building, Carrie yelled at me to get my attention, then started threatening to call the police on me. She had 21 days to respond to the affidavit. I went to the Justice of the Peace at the local post office and got the statement signed that I had served my old boss the affidavit, and I swore to God I told the truth. I sent the document to the court by email. They didn't accept the document because I didn't tick one box and wrote one tiny thing wrong. I had to redo it and wait until Monday the following week to go to another JP, which I decided to go to in Albany at the courthouse, and get my document signed and sworn all over again. I sent it to the court again over email. They finally accepted it this time. It's now over 21 days and the court hasn't contacted me or anything. I'm not sure if she has responded to it or not. I started going to the chiropractor again after starting my new job at the chemist. Barry came with me one time. The chiro has helped my back and my nervous system. I had bad anxiety and a sore back, it's getting better. My nervous system was fried from so much trauma and being in survival mode so much. I was also very ticklish and sensitive and the chiro could hardly work on my back at first, but it's gotten better and now I can get treated properly. My anxiety has almost gone completely. I wasn't going to go to chiropractors again, but personally I think I'm a person who benefits from chiropractic treatment. I stopped sleeping at Jack's house because it became awkward seeing Barry and staying at Jack's house. Barry had an emotional heart-to-heart conversation about me staying there. He felt jealous and wanted me to stay at his mum's house with him in his small bed. I understand why he felt that way knowing the history between me and Jack, so I stopped staying at Jack's and started sleeping at Barry's mum's house. I only stay at Jack's when Barry has his kids over his mum's house. He's not ready for me to meet them, also there's no room for me there. It's the 3rd of October and Jack is in Perth for a few days. I'm staying at Jack's because Barry's kids are over there and one of his kids had a birthday party. I'm in a situation where I'm in between homes, not really having a place to call home. At least I have a stable job for now. Some of the women I work with have become rude and aggressive with me. One has also started making everyone else a hot drink every morning and leaving me out every time. Other women go and buy food for everyone, but leave me out. Everyone else gets cake and hot food, but not me. The same lady had a go at me for having my drink bottle in the cupboard on the shelf. It irritated her for some reason. Some people need to grow up and be an adult. Just stop being petty and attacking innocent people that are trying to do their job and go home. A few days ago, the bully work colleague made me cry by bullying me even worse than usual by being aggressive. I had to hide my tears, lucky no one saw me. What happened was, I tried to delete 2 items off the screen, but the computer kept freezing up when I did that. They were a dispensary item anyway, so I decided to ask the pharmacist to delete the items on his end. The co-worker butted in and took over what I was trying to do. She said I don't need the pharmacist to delete the items. It's our job, we can do it on our end. I tried to explain that I did try to do it on our end, but the computer was freezing. She got on the computer and tried to delete the 2 items. It froze like I told her it was doing, but then it unfroze and worked. She said, "See, I told you it worked. You should know that. Why don't you just do your job properly?" And she was giving me dirty looks and even barged past me. She does things like that all the time, and I almost cry every time. I won't show her that she's getting to me though. I feel like there are hating bitches in every workplace, and it's starting to get me down a bit. I'm still nice to everyone, and I make everyone a hot drink when I make drinks. I don't play petty games like that. Yesterday I made the lady that always leaves me out and bully me a hot drink, because I'm not petty like her. She was still rude to me. I'm trying to be the bigger person and see the bigger picture. I think she won't be there for too long. It's just a feeling I get. Also, God put me there for a reason, so I'm not going to let anyone push me out. Recently Brittany has been acting weird around me. She came to drop off cat food and was eager to leave. She left in a hurry, then rang me 5 minutes later because her car battery went flat and needed my help. I went and helped her. We got a stranger to help because my car battery is hidden in my boot somewhere, being a European car. After her battery was charged a bit, she was eager to go. She didn't want to be around me. I think it's because I'm dating Barry. She is probably jealous, or just upset, because she can't control what I do or who I date. Barry is the nicest guy I have ever dated. He does treat me right, and he loves my art. We love each other so much. I feel a deeper spiritual connection with him, like a past life feeling. Before we started talking to each other again, I was having dreams about Barry. One dream I woke up crying and saying, "I miss you, Barry," not knowing that I would be with him in the near future. It feels like it's meant to be. I love his blonde curly hair. I wrote a list years ago of what I think would be the perfect man for me, and he ticks all the boxes. It's quite funny, I never knew someone like him existed. For now, I'm just working, looking for a rental and keeping my head down at work, but keeping my vision in mind of writing this book, and seeing the bigger picture so petty bullies don't get to me. I'm waiting to hear from the court about my old boss owing me back pay. I'm not sure how long I have to wait. Hopefully they haven't closed the case. If they did, then at least I've tried my best. I tried to bring justice and teach her a lesson. She is still underpaying people, so this whole scare didn't make her change her ways. Carrie is just dodgy and always will be, unfortunately. She has had plenty of time now to save up back pay to pay me if she doesn't have the money. She makes lots of profit from the pub and cafe, so I just don't understand why it's so damn hard for her to just do the right thing. Today is the 15th of October. On the 13th I broke up with Barry because he became verbally abusive and mentally abusive and withheld sex from me. I can't believe how fooled I was, thinking he was my soulmate. I really thought he was the one for me. I think I've lost all faith and hope in finding love now. Who will want me now anyway? I've been in too many relationships and kissed too many frogs. I think I really should stay single and not even look at men. My heart feels hardened to love again. On the 13th, I emailed the affidavit to court. The court rang the next day and said that Carrie had served me documents. She never did. She made up lies too on the response form. She accused me of being contradictive when she is the contradictive one. Carrie also sent her forms late, so hopefully they will be void and not important. After the breakup with Barry's mum sent me a huge message saying how disappointing I am and how her whole family feels ashamed of me. She said that I'm a liar and how I should keep my mouth shut and not say anything to anyone about Barry. Meanwhile, he is spreading lies about me and telling Jack lies and sob stories over the phone. On the 13th of October, before I broke up with him, Barry got up was verbally abusive to me. He woke up and started blaming me for having a bad sleep, called me a dickhead. He also said other things like I'm annoying to sleep next to, and he can do better than me. He accused me of beating him up in his sleep, gaslighting me. He started saying that I'm a terrible kisser too, and I'm the worst at kissing he's ever experienced. As soon as he got in the shower, I shot up out of bed and packed most my things, then left and went to Jack's. I had to work too. It's amazing I haven't cried at all yet. He turned out to be a liar, fake soulmate. He said he would wank himself and throw the cum at me because he was angry at himself and took his anger out on me. I served my high school bully at work. She didn't even recognize me. I think she's probably a better person now. I've seen a few people from high school recently, and some from when I went to TAFE in Albany. I hope bullies realize the negative impact they have on a person's life, making them go through trauma. The court rang me on the 14th of October and set a date for me to take my old boss to court. Yesterday afternoon, I booked a villa at a caravan park in Perth for when I take my boss to court on the 5th of November. After booking it, I told my manager that I will be unavailable to work on for 4 days. My manager fired me, but will pay me wages for 4 weeks while I look for another job. I spent all afternoon crying and didn't sleep until 2 a.m. I can't believe they fired me just because I had to take time off to go to court, which I gave plenty of notice for. Apparently one reason I got fired is because of the politics in this small town. They decided to take my old manager's side of things. Also, apparently, I wasn't getting better at my job. And people told my boss how bad I am outside of work. I believe it was my auntie and my parents' friends that live in this town telling my manager lies to get me fired. Well, they won. It worked. One of my parents' friends came into the chemist a few days ago and gave me evils. This morning on the 16th of October, I printed 40 resumes. I went to Albany and handed heaps out. I went to Coles as a walk-in and got the job straight away. I haven't told Jack yet that I lost my job and found a new one. I was too scared to tell him I lost my job. I didn't want to lose a roof over my head too. That would be too much stress. Jack has been really good about everything so far. I think he's better as just a friend. He's a good friend. Jack is finally getting his ex's dad to move his ex's boxes so I can finally have a room and not sleep on the couch. I'm sleeping on the couch, which is an inconvenience to him because he wants to be on his computer up all night, which is attached to the lounge room. Brittany is so happy that I left Barry. She saw what a loser he was from the beginning. I had to learn the lesson the hard way and date him to find out. I will trust her judgment more in the future. She is almost 10 years older than me and wiser. It's still the 16th and I went to the bottom pub to see Brittany and her new friend. I told her how I got a new job and everything. I went home, finished filling out documents for my new job. After I sent all my documents to the new workplace, I decided to go to IGA and get some food for dinner. As I was walking in, I got an email from the court on my phone. It said I must serve my old boss Carrie court orders, so I had to serve her papers again. I went home, printed all the documents needed and went down to the top pub. I was a bit early, so she wasn't there yet. I waited in my car parked out the front of the pub. She came out the front standing on the front steps at 4:07 p.m., and I saw her there, so I went to her and tried to serve her the court papers. She was refusing to take them. She also had papers for me she was serving me with. Her papers were a notice of discontinuance. She threatened me to sign her notice of discontinuance. Carrie was being very verbally abusive and called me a slut. She said I better leave town, or I'll get hurt and she will damage my car. Carrie said she will get the cops on me. She also accused me of asking for my back pay because I got fired from the chemist and need money. That just doesn't make sense because this case has been going on before I even got the chemist job. So I said, what are you talking about? She said it again, that I'm taking her to court because I got fired. I said, no, that's not why. She said that I better not go ahead with this. I said it's too late now, it's already done. I also can't believe everyone at the chemist backstabbed me and are telling everyone that I was fired. It's a conflict of interest that she found out. Apparently, she went to the chemist to serve me her papers, then they told her I was fired. Today is the 17th of October, 2025. Last night Brittany came over after her shift at the pub because after I had served Carrie the court documents, Carrie threatened Brittany to ring the Shire and get her cats taken off her if she didn't write a statement saying I used a second room at the pub. Brittany was furious, and at the end of the shift Brittany called Carrie a cunt, and how dare she step on other people's toes to get what she wants. Brittany still has her job, thankfully. Carrie backed down after being told not to threaten her and promised to leave her cats alone. So, Brittany came over, and we talked about everything. It was great catching up with her. She was still shaken after giving my old boss a good serving. Today, I went and got another affidavit sworn at the local post office for serving Carrie papers yesterday. The JP lady at the post office is friends with Carrie and is most likely taking her side. The reason I think that is because the JP was a bit short with me and asked, "Haven't you already done this?" I said, "Yeah, but I had to serve her again," and she turned her nose up at me, then signed the affidavit. Before I went to the post office, I parked across from the cafe I worked at so I could be close to the post office to get the affidavit signed. Carrie's mum and grandmother were out the front. They saw my car, and I could see them getting up and ringing Carrie on her phone. I assumed they were ringing her anyway. So, I drove off and found parking elsewhere, then walked to the post office. The reason I lost my job and my relationship all at once is because I believe it's caused from a prayer I wrote down to the Most High God to remove toxic and evil people from my life. So he did. And it all happened so abruptly and quickly. Be careful what you pray for. I am grateful overall, and I don't wish anything bad on my enemies and the people that fired me.